Coming from a wrestling background, we're all about gimmicks. And speaking of wrestling, had some sad news yesterday about the passing of a good friend of mine, Macho Man Randy Savage. Randy and I started out in the business together way back in the late 70s, and knew him very well. And he had a heart attack in Sarasota, Florida. There's Media Master now, limping back. But I want to send our condolences out to Randy Paffo's family. And he was a great wrestler and great entertainer, and he will be missed. Twisted Metal Motorsports showing his transom to all the other P1 boats since the green flag flew. Can he keep that boat together? Can he hold it together and make the checkered flag? Right now, with the race about 3/4 or 4/5 of the way through, is when you start hearing those funny sounds, and you start crossing your fingers and your toes and hoping nothing breaks. It's not always the $60,000 engine that blows. It could be a 25-cent fitting. John, number 2 over there. Are you back on with me?
We're ready.
You weren't wagering over there, were you? I saw some money exchanging hands.
I don't know, but it may be a good idea. Although I don't know who's going to win this thing. I think it's anybody's race yet at this point in time.
I don't have headsets, so I can't hear what you're saying, but I'm sure it's good. Hey, John, I have headsets now. Talk to me.
What I was saying is it's still anybody's race, I think. It may not be the best thing to put a wager down just yet.
You want a sure thing, right? I hear you. As we check out Sheds Plus on the backstretch, going around our turn boat there. They are trying to make up some ground. They got that brand new power in there. They jumped up from twin 750s last year to twin. Well, he wouldn't tell me how much exactly the horsepower is, but I'm just by looking at the engines, I'm guesstimating about at least 1,200 a side. They're big Chief engines, humongous blowers, and that thing does have some acceleration. It's mostly about the torque on the acceleration from the turns anyway. Horsepower on the top end. Speaking of horsepower, Miss Geico, twin 1,850 horsepower turbine motors running through those surface piercing BPM drives, shaft drives. The less angles, the less parasitic horsepower loss. I want to remind you our next venue is only about 2 weeks away, and that'll be in Miami Beach. Historically, we have some very, very large water conditions down there. Unlike here, 2 to 3s, we've had we've raced in up to 8-foot seas down there. So you really get some frequent flyer mileage down there, especially if you're in a small boat. After that, we head to Sarasota, and then after that, Michigan City on Lake Michigan, and they can have all kinds of water conditions up there on Lake Michigan. You could be almost glass smooth to be like the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. I mean, it can be brutal up there as well. But some great racing and a great venue. If you're up in that part of the country, by all means, try to join us as we check out WHM Motorsports. They have led almost wire to wire. Well, they have led wire to wire in their class. They duked it out with Geico, which was very entertaining and exciting for about 3 laps. And then after WHM and Geico made the turns in this north turn about 5 feet from each other 3 times in a row, I think Geico said, we better not do this anymore. This is not looking good. Got to get away from these guys. After Michigan City, we'll be headed to the Big Apple, New York, on the Hudson River. They shut the Hudson River down for us. Twisted Metal, full song coming by us. Breaking crowd, and we had a lot bigger fleet of boats this year than last year as well, so that's always a positive. And we hope to see even bigger and better things in the future. I know it's tough with the economy, the price of gas, and you know, these guys not only bring their boats, but they bring their support, 18-wheeler support vehicles, and they're packed full of 4 or 5 or 6 spare motors and drives. It's a very expensive sport. It takes a lot of money to run it, and with the economy down, the sponsorships are down, but we're still making a go of it and still doing very, very well here at SBI Superboat International. As the camera helicopter zooms in on the steel boat, it's a 38-foot skater, 388 skater, one of the newer designs, state of the art as he makes his turn there. He's got the Mercury 525s in there. Very good engine, extremely reliable. They actually produce, they're rated at 525. From what I hear, they usually produce anywhere from 540 to 550. Sometimes Mercury measures the horsepower at the crank for some of their engines, and they measure it at the prop for other engines. Of course, you lose horsepower at the prop going through the outdrive system. Lori Blue's still out there battling, trying to run down steel. They've been battling all day long here.
Stan, it looks like there are three boats left in the race.
Yeah, it's definitely on the last lap or two. But the crowd here on the pier has not diminished at all. As a matter of fact, after a couple of hours of the adult beverages there, they're having more and more fun by the minute.
The party has just started.
My party is going to end soon because I'm going to have to leave you guys here shortly because I've got to go back to the dry pits and pass out the checkered flags, and I have to do the television interviews with all the winners. So I'll be leaving you shortly. I'll stick around for a little while longer as the boats finish up their final laps. But just want to say it's been a pleasure to work with you, John, on ESPN, and also it was great to be on Space Coast Sports. And my good buddy John number 1 over here, who was running around here crazy early, weren't you, John? He had to get things going. Had some technical problems, but we got it all ironed out. And from what I'm being told, we're going to do live streaming at each and every race all year long for SBI. Let me thank once again, before I head out of here, I want to thank Carrie Bartlett, who was the event director for Cocoa Beach, the Bright House Grand Prix. I want to thank Giles Malone. He's in charge of the TDC, the Tourist Development Council. He also owns this pier that we're on. I want to thank all of them and their staff. Didn't have any manatee or sea turtle problems. And speak of the devil, I'm watching the monitor now for the first time all day, and Kerry snuck up behind me. Kerry, do you have anything else to say? I think it was a great race, buddy.
Absolutely incredible. We ran a real safe, nice race. The crowds absolutely loved it. Couldn't have got any better, Stan. Thank you so much.
Look forward to seeing you next year. It's been a great venue. And John number 2 with ESPN, I want to thank you. I'm going to have to head on out of here and put on my other hat and do my other TV duties. But it's been a pleasure, and maybe I'll see you next year.
Looking forward to it. Thank you, Stan, so much. And believe it or not, that's just about going to wrap us up here on our coverage from the Cocoa Beach Pier on this boat race. Man, I tell you, they have had so many exciting turns and twists in this particular thing. The very last boats are coming across the start-finish line now. As Stan was pointing out just a little bit earlier, most of the boats in different classes have already finished the race. Now they are almost finished with the entire race for the day. Coming around for the last time, the start-finish line is about a mile from the Cocoa Beach Pier as they make their way back south. So they should be wrapping things up here. Still two boats left in the race. Everyone else is now finished. So that will just about take care of it as they make their way past the start-finish line as they go by right now. So that takes care of it. An exciting day, exciting race, and as Stan was pointing out, there are still a lot of activities here for the race. Many of it happening at the port. And of course, the party is continuing here on the Cocoa Beach. So stay with us, and we'll be more than happy to bring you all the action as it comes down here from Cocoa Beach. Once again, a beautiful day. The beach is packed. The pier is packed. and the boat flotilla that is on, boat flotilla that is on the other side of the race course here. There must be 300 or 400 boats over on the other side, as they had a wonderful spot to watch these races from. So that's going to do it.
This island life is all that I know. From the top of the mountain to the bottom of my soul. Oh, this island life is all that I am. Cool, I know, you know she holding my hand. Clouds fill the air on this island in the middle of nowhere, watching waves crashing over me. Lord knows I've been set free. It's a beautiful day, and I don't know if I'll see tomorrow, but I'm on my way. With the time that he let me borrow, and I live each day like it's the last one that I've been given. And I know life is for the living, so I'm gonna live. I'm gonna live my life to the fullest, do right, yes I will. And I'm gonna always strive to be the best I can be. I'm gonna take my time, stop and listen to the old and the wise. What a blessing it would be. Well, can't you see now this beautiful day? And the people, they are smiling, and the sun now it is shining, and the people, the sun now it is shining, oh can't you see? This island life is all that I know. From the top of the mountain to the bottom of my soul. Oh, this island life is all that I am. Cool, I know, you know she holding my hand.